on a roof resting vehicle, what's different about this too is you're going strut to strut instead of strut to car. Okay, you're using opposing ratchet systems, okay, to pull the base plates together, at least to set the struts, and then once they're in place, you can crank it up and do a lifting operation. When you guys take these struts back or you get them delivered to your stations, and you have your 4x4s, a good evolution would be to do a lifting operation until I can get this 4x4, which is what we're going to do today, right now, is we lift it the back end enough to slide a 4x4 at the B-pillar all the way from that side to that side. It simulates an arm out a moonroof, and it's a limb presentation evolution. It's a really easy evolution, and ideally, how fast should we be doing all these evolutions? 2 minutes. 2 guys, 2 struts, 2 minutes. It's done all over the place, and if you guys practice this, it's easily done in 2 minutes. The whole concept of the 222 is just to remind the guys that you need to go fast. If someone's life is in the balance, every drop of blood counts, and that's the whole focus point. And what we want to teach and share with everybody is to be safe, to be efficient, and to be fast. If we have our 4 points of contact, capturing at the A post and capturing here, now that's our initial stabilization. Our primary is basically the same. We come in at 45 to 60. If we anticipate a lifting operation, I'm going to just go ahead and put it at the 60. So our insertion point, figuring that out, if I have my insertion point here, I know that from here to here, 1.5 feet up here, pin, I drop this down, it's right at the angle that I want. For stabilization, I want it 45 to 55 degrees. If I'm going to lift, I want to change that angle because, A, it's easier to lift at a 60 to 80 degree angle, and if I lower it down to 45 to 60, I have better left to right stabilization. 45 to 60, or really 45 to 55 ultimately, but 45 to 60 is easy to remember. And then 60 to 80, you start off where you left off on the other, and it's either lift it or capture it. So if something falls over, it almost always falls over in a 60 degree angle, 60 to 80 or 90 if you get further out, but it's in that 60 degree range. So you capture, lift. Let's just take the fact that this is not here. We peel that bumper back. Now I start looking at where my insertion point is going to be, and I have my master key or my pig that's over here that you guys have plenty of around the department. Is if I don't have this here, I need to create an insertion point, or I utilize my chain or whatever operation I'm going to do. If you're going to do that, capture a corner, because the corners are generally going to be the stronger point. Don't go in the middle of a sheet metal area, because it wants to weaken and work its way to the corner or to the rail itself where it's angled. Angle gives you strength. That's why they make angle iron, because it's stronger than flat iron. Okay? Go to the corner or go to the corner and make an insertion point. It's really easy to do that. Is this a sharp end? Is this the one with a curly end? That's kind of works. So if I'm going to do that, let's just say I'm going to go here. It's kind of like there's one hit here, you drive the tip in, here, spin it around, here, okay, and then put this in here. Need a little bit more off of this side, here, and then you do one full turn on here. And you've created a nice insertion point for that. The question was, is that going to be strong enough if you go for the corner and stay in the corner? If I swing and I'm in the middle of the panel, I missed. But what I can do is I can do this right where I want it, and Mike can strike it. If I want to go exactly right there, go ahead. That's exactly where I want it. Okay, and that hole there at the base of this hub, that's pretty good. Look at you. So now I have a perfect insertion point for my round tip, right? Or I can utilize my chain, my J-hook in there, come off the chain. You can use the chain in a saddle type of scenario. Put that in place. You can either put it into here, or put it into here you can do that's actually, I like doing that with these. Or you swivel it around and you can do it with this end, and it wants to swivel in. Or you can do this right into here, capture that, bring the base plate back, and square it up. So it's really up to you. You just got to match it up to whatever they're doing on the other side. Awesome. All right. That's a good angle right there. Because that's just the way they make them in the factory. Yeah. They don't necessarily say you have to use this. As long as when it's deployed, if you're using the most surface area on the pin itself. And it's good. Okay, base plate, 2 ratchet straps, one there to that one and one there to that one. All right, now keep holding on this till you you initiate lift. Okay. Yeah, you're starting. That's good. So, good. Go ahead and start cranking, Chris. You can go a little faster. Go ahead. Well, you'll see the base plate and the ratchet tighten up on this, and on the Chris on the end on here for video purposes. You'll see the other Chris. You'll see that starting to extend out. It'll show you. Go ahead and start. Keep cranking now. Okay. And you'll see this end start to lift, and once it starts to level out, once you do an inch of lift an inch, crib an inch. So once that marker, and you're watching your markers, another inch, stop, push in the cribbing. Another inch, stop, push in the cribbing. Another inch, stop, push in the cribbing. If you have the manpower, it's what I call continuous cribbing. You just keep going, as long as it's taking the load and you keep moving, and every inch, and these guys are counting down on the inches, and you guys just keep moving that stuff in there. So go ahead and now once it's level, boss, and you keep them going at the same time. So let's go all the way achieve full lift. I want it all the way down to 1 inch showing on your crank.
Okay, another inch.
Keep going.
Cribbing. You guys on standby on the cribbing. Yeah.
Another inch. Filming.
There we go.
Here it is. There we go. So we've achieved our goal and task. This is a really good exercise for your crews. It's swiveled a little bit on its own. That's kind of what I like about the design of the swivel here. It's swiveled into the position it wants to be in. If I'd have chosen here, that's actually not a bad point to put an insertion point. You could have swiveled this around, come off of a chain. If you chose to do that. When you're practicing this, practice with the chain, practice with your insertion points that you create, and practice doing little maneuvers left to right, leveling the car out, and make sure you do the continuous crib or lift an inch, crib an inch as you gather confidence with the tool and the crew. We've gotten that guy out from underneath the car. He's on his way to the hospital, but we've cut the roof off, and this thing is not going to come back down on the seat post because it's gone. We actually eliminated the roof, and it's going to come all the way to the trunk lid. We have to do the safest possible way of doing it. So let's take one ratchet strap out right now. Mike, you want to do yours then? I'll have you stand right here with your foot right against the base plate, and your foot against the base plate here. So what I'll do is you're going to hold this. I'm going to hand you a strap, and you're going to hold both ends of it, and you're going to use that to pull the base plate out and let the whole thing drop when Mike and you coordinate that. Are you ready, Mike? You ready? Based on our angle, 60 to 80, the pressure's into the ground. The pressure's not out, it's down. It's a capture angle instead of a stabilization angle. So I pull this off here. Here and here. Lower it down and get enough slack where you can kind of lean back and look at Mike. All right, you guys look at each other. And 3, 2, 1, and pull the base plate out.
3, 2, 1.
Okay. If you had the seat post and roof out, obviously it would have dropped all the way down, but that's how to do that. I'm clear, you're clear, everybody's clear. It's like you're defibrillating somebody. Everybody's clear, right? So you pull it out and then you put your gear in it. Because a lot of guys, the injuries that are happening in stabilization is happening when you're breaking down. When you're high-fiving for a successful rescue, and you get a little complacent when you're breaking it down, when you don't think about it, it's going to fall twice as far as you lifted it.